It's time for me to read Umineko no Naku Koro ni. Let's get in there. I'm not tired this time, and I'm feeling better, so let's continue. Hey! That's mine! Give it back!
No, I'll eat it! Asmo, pass! Over here, Leviah!
I wonder where they swiped it from. They were fighting over a donor or something, playing around really loudly. Hey! Angie's reading! Can't you be a little more quiet? Yelling stuff like that makes you the loudest one, Satan. Be silent, you foolish little sister. You're the loud one, Lucifer. Is there something you'd like to say to me? I was already used to the oldest and the third older sister arguing with each other. Even though they're both so quick to anger, it's a bit funny how they're both having to hold back a little. They might be surprisingly like each other. You were told to be noisy, but this is a bit too much. Should I make them lower the volume a little? They can mess around all they want. It's 100 times more pleasant than the shrill laughter in the classroom. Angie, go to the next page quickly. You're really slow. You like to read, Mammon? You look like you'd be the worst at doing boring things. Mammon controls greed. That also includes a thirst for knowledge. Still, she wants to keep that knowledge all for herself, so be warned that she refuses to let people read any book you give her, and sometimes burns them after reading them. I like knowing things that no one else knows. I like being able to do things that no one else can do. So I like studying and practicing, because I want to keep wisdom that no one else knows about all to myself. As Mammon said that, her eyes sparkling. She peered down at the page that was open and read through it again. You could see the greed that made her covet that page even more thoroughly than I did. As you can see, my magical power has grown much stronger than it was the first day I summoned them. By now, I've gotten so strong that I could summon all the 7 sisters of Purgatory at once, and still calmly read a book like this. This place, although I can't recall exactly where it is a quiet, calm street-side bench. I've been young since then. I don't remember the details of its location. Still, I remember my days walking here were a lot of fun. Together with Mom, Dad, and even Oni-chan. It was a memory of a very rare and very happy day when everyone had been together. The people who walked by every once in a while didn't notice me. They just pleasantly ignored me and passed by as though everything was normal. Even the 7 sisters' incredible outfits weren't embarrassing or anything, because it wasn't like anyone was actually watching. Come to think of it, I'm getting pretty used to it, as long as they don't make me wear those. I was sitting on a stylish bench, memorizing a timeline for the world history. In an academy system where everything is based on collective responsibility, there's no tolerance for dunces. It seems that I was considerably below the average grade for the class, according to those extremely intellectual girls. If I alone improved my grade, the average would rise drastically. They had been kind enough to show me with a graph drawn by colorful pens on a B4 sheet of drawing paper. Just thinking of the effort it had taken to draw that was repulsive. But I already spat out all those complaints. I've already voiced my constant and furious anger and sadness to these girls here. The sisters were sometimes indignant, sometimes sympathetic, and sometimes mourned along with me. I was truly happy to be able to share emotions like that with friends. It's said that they were originally furniture that existed to carry out Beatrice's cruel sacrifice ceremony. According to the cult message bottle I hated, it seemed that several of them even attacked my family. But I don't believe that, and it's pointless to question them about it. They're furniture. They only respond to their master's requests. Even if they really did attack my family, I can't hate them. What I really hated was the Golden Witch, Beatrice, or else that ringleader of the Ushiromiya suspicion, Aunt Ava. Angie, quickly, next page! Oh, sorry. I'm tired. Mind if I take a break?
Angie said break! Let's play! Let's play! Angie, let's play!
When they noticed I interrupted my studying, the most energetic younger sisters gathered around me. And that wasn't all. Even Maria and Sakutaro showed themselves. They probably had been very close by, but they must have hid themselves so they wouldn't interrupt my studying.
What are you... Angie! How's studying? How's studying?
Sakutaro! How are you?
Wait a second! Let me squeeze him too!
Don't we always say the first one to get their wins? Cute! Cute!
You're crushing me!
Your luck ran out when you showed up when all the 7 sisters were gathered. Give up and let us hug you. Come on! It always turns out this way. I apologize for my stupid older and younger sisters.
Sakutaro's happy to meet everyone too! How's it going, Angie? How's the studying going?
Thanks. Well, not bad. They were nice enough to pass around printouts from a quiz that another class took earlier. Their beautiful sense of solidarity is enough to bring my eyes to tears. Well, at least it's probably better to put a timeline into my head.
You sure are good at studying, Angie. You'll be able to get a lot of points. Good work! I was terrible at studying, so I'm jealous of you for being able to get a good score when you study hard.
You're joking. When it comes to English, Latin, and knowledge of the occult, you're much more amazing for being able to remember so much. I can remember anything. Wait, hold on.
I can remember anything when studying magic, but I can't remember anything boring, so that didn't help at all for tests.
I agree. I can remember everything about Higurashi and Umineko, but I can't remember math formulas and what they do. Well, it's true that the occult knowledge would be like that, but your grades must have been pretty good in English, right?
In the first year of elementary school on a Japanese language test, there was a problem. I was given a picture of a gun and was told to write its name in 4 squares. It got marked wrong because I wrote the English word rifle in katakana.
Why? Doesn't that fit?
It was supposed to be the Japanese word for gun in hiragana.
Teppo. Right.
Teppo. I was told that was wrong because you don't learn katakana in 1st grade. I didn't really get it. So from that day on tests, I wrote everything in hiragana. But I got in trouble with Mama for some reason. Got in trouble with the teachers too.
You were probably born in the wrong country, One-chan.
Then I'd rather have been born in a country of witches so I could enter a witch school. If that happened, you might have had a much, much more wonderful magical friends. But it's not like I mind it now. After all, I can use lots of magic, and I've got lots of magic friends. Sakutaro is all I need. I'm not the only one. There's also Sakusuke and Sakukichi and the animal band Shimoda the seal, Sanae the rabbit, Mr. Pig, and plenty more.
Incredible. The number of One-chan's friends keep increasing. Every time I ask, the number of names for her friends grow. But there's no doubt that Sakutaro is her best friend. I'm a little jealous of all those close friends.
What do you think? How are the 7 sisters? Do you get along with them?
Those sisters are really energetic. They sometimes say shady stuff, but they aren't bad. I wanted to get a cute kid like Sakutaro, but I think being with them now is more than enough.
If you learn more of my magic of origins, I'm sure you'll be able to give birth to friends you'll like, Angie. Creation is still a bit too hard for you now.
There's a difference between creation and summoning, and resurrection is also different.
So your greatest wish is to revive your family?
Yes, I have a vessel for it. This.
That's right. I'm sure the Koro Sensei will eventually become the key to summoning Valor. The rest is up to your training, Angie.
Although not knowing how long it'll take is enough to make me cry.
Uryu, stay strong, even if it's tough. If you don't give up, Angie, it'll definitely come true someday.
If someone gave me proof that it'd definitely be granted, at least that would calm my heart.
Uryu, then I guarantee it. Without a doubt, Angie will surely have her wish granted someday.
Thanks. I'm glad to hear it, even if you're just saying it to console me.
It's not like that, Uryu. Stop it, Angie. That kind of emotion will turn into the magic-resisting toxin. The feeling that your dreams will definitely come true is the best seed that buds into magic power.
That's right. Sorry, teacher. You need to be a bit greedier, Angie. Go however far it takes to get the thing that you desire. You're lacking the willpower to never give up until you get it.
Uryu, that isn't true. Angie's doing her best.
Thanks, Sakutaro. Mamoon, crying about won't help anything. There's nothing I can do except to hang in there. I'll try hard. I'll grit my teeth. I'll definitely make my dreams come true. With certainty.
Uryu, you're awesome, Angie. Do your best. Mamo and I will support you.
Yes, we'll support you. The greedier our master is, the more our worth will increase.
More importantly, Angie, we finally got 10 people gathered here. We plan to have everyone play Shiritori or something. If you lose, there's a punishment game. Let me nibble your ears.
Come on, is hunger the only thing inside that head of yours? Please forgive my foolish sister's stupid proposals. Are you sure it isn't about time you return to your study?
No! I waited so long for you to finish studying, so I can't stand if you don't play with us!
I don't think it's a bad idea. Perhaps playing every once in a while is good for softening the mind. You govern Sloth, right, Belpha? What you're saying sounds reasonable, but you're actually being sneaky, aren't you? My apologies. You are diligent, Angie.
If it's okay with Angie, I'd also like to play with everyone. Let's make some noise. It'll definitely be fun. Uryu, Angie, let's play. Let's all do Shiritori.
In that case, let's start from Sakutaro's Uryu. In that case, which sound should we start the next word from? Ryu or you?
From Uryu? I wonder. Maybe it really should be Ryu.
It's rare for a word that ends like that to come up. Then I'm first. I'll do a word starting with Ryu. Ryuzu. Watch crown.
I want to go first.
Ryuto. Loot would have been wonderful. Zoo. Feels like we keep getting tough ones. Wait a sec. What order are we going in? Who's next?
Uryu, I don't think it matters who. Whoever thinks of a matching word first. What's that? Sounds interesting. How about the person who can say the most wins? It's fast-talking Shiritori. Then I'll go! Zucchini.
Niku itame. Niku itame. Sorry. Hold on.
Then I'll go! Zucchini! Niku itame! Meibaku with pasta! Oh, they're delicious! I said 3 of them!
Bells takes 3 points. Can you use conjunctions? If you could use with, then anything would work. That last one doesn't count. -1 point. Let's start from me. May. My bad. Let's start from May.
Then I'll go! Meringue!
Meringue, my bad. Gesuido. Drainage system. Umetatechi. Chikashitsu. How'd you like them apples? One-sama, those are all pretty crummy words. So what? Then why don't you try following up with something refined? Anyway, that's 3 points for me. The next one's Sue, okay? Sue!
I've never played such a weird shitty Tori before. It's fun! I don't get it at all, but it's fun.
I've played normal shitty Tori before, but I've never experienced a shitty Tori this weird. There's only the lively 7 sisters, Maria, Sakutaro, and me. And now I'm surrounded by friends that are so much fun to be with. The courage to accept a world of magic. A world of witches. That alone didn't change the fact that I was still locked up in an academy, without a single friend in my class. But despite that, I'm able to have such a fun and lively time. I'll also become a witch, like Maria, and someday I'll add my family to this fun circle. Dad, Mom, and Oni-chan. And if possible, George and Jessica, and the other relatives. I'll call everyone. Everyone here without a single person missing. And we'll all gather together. This is my dream. That's right. Until I make that come true, I definitely won't lose heart. I'm sure you'll become a great witch, Angie, as long as you believe that. We 7 Stakes of Purgatory will always serve by your side until that day comes. You'll be there for me, no matter how long. You'll lend me your strength? Of course! After all, I'm your friend, right, Angie? Yes, that's right. Let's all stick together and play together. Today and in the future. Always. Always. Until the day that your dream comes true, Angie. A lively 10-person game of Shiritori, alongside a street cut off from time, under the constantly bright rays of the sun, could have continued forever. Wait, seriously? What's going on, Ushiromiya? Ugh, I can't stand these bitches. I'm gonna get pissed. In the end, I wasn't able to get a very good grade on my test. I tried memorizing things in my own way, but if you could manage anything by cramming the night before a test, no one could ever worry about tests. Normally, when you know the prompts beforehand, you should be able to pass easily, right? Easily! It's true that we didn't go so far as to write the answers into the blanks for you. We thought you'd study at least that much. What the hell? Come on, are you serious? I can't believe it. They're almost all wrong, aren't they? Did you really study properly? More or less. This isn't what you call more or less, Ushiromiya. It's so horrible that it makes me dizzy, okay? Oh God, please forgive her for getting a miserable grade on such an easy test, and for that average score for the entire class plummet. The same test I'd been given in another class first. That test paper had been obtained, so the average score for our class had been unusually high, enough to obscure my slight improvement. However, there were some things I had no excuse for. If I spent that entire day studying like mad, I might have been able to get a slightly higher score. But I hadn't gone that far. After that, on that day, I spent the whole time having fun playing Shiritori with the 7 sisters, Sakutaro and One-chan. As expected, the winner had been Maria. She was a strong player thanks to her wide knowledge of trivia. Sakutaro had gotten the punishment game. He spent the whole time cheering for everyone else's answers, completely forgetting to think of any himself. Because of that, he'd been squished by the 7 sisters and has his ears thoroughly nibbled, hadn't he? Hey, are you listening, Ushiromiya? They were surrounding me, twittering like small birds. They were annoying, smelly. On the outside of the circle was Mammon, an exasperated expression on her face. This is a messed up school, just like usual. Shouldn't you be more than happy as long as your own grades are good? It's probably because of that collective responsibility thing. Instead of worrying about their own grades, they're more concerned about how embarrassing it is for the class average to be low. Or maybe it's because they really hate the volunteer work they're forced to do as punishment. So in other words, they aren't studying because they want their grades to be good, but because of the collective responsibility, and since they hate volunteer work.
They're jealous and embarrassed. They don't want to be inferior to anyone, and they don't want to be humiliated. That's the only feeling that drives them to study.
What noisy people. If they want to study, why can't they do it themselves? In the end, without collective responsibility and volunteer work, they have no desire to study. How foolish it is to study without knowing the meaning of studying. Still, these guys are really annoying and stupid. Don't you dare disturb Angie's precious day for even a minute.
Oh, I hate those people. Just get lost. I'm hungry. Go away now.
Sorry, everyone. I wonder why humans are so shameful. It's probably because instead of working hard themselves, it's easier to make you work hard and earn them a higher class average to satisfy their greed. Humans are all greedy, and they'll burden others with their greed to make things easier for themselves. We'll eventually be reunited with them on the mountain of purgatory. When they get to the 5th terrace, they better watch their next step. Mama controls the 5th terrace of the mountain that reaches to heaven, Mount Purgatory. Since she's saying this, you can probably be sure that after those girls die, their journey to heaven won't be an easy one. No, on the contrary. Just let them fall into hell. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure they'll all, being as petty as they are, they'll always have something that pisses them off and they'll never be happy. Tips. Don't try to hurt people. Just accept the fact that they're all gonna have a pain somewhere. Somebody's gonna make something inconvenient for them. The class committee went to the student council and applied to use a classroom during lunch and after school. The purpose of use for this class study group, a wonderful little gathering so they could all surround me and make me study. I'm so grateful I could cry, which meant that every day, all of my lunch and 3 hours of my afternoon would be stolen. The academy and its student council, with its theme of student self-government, instantly approved this pleasant activity that the students were taking up of their own initiative. In other words, I was no longer able to escape after school by leaving the classroom. After school, the first study class meeting started right away, but they opened a textbook and kindly and carefully explained so that even I could understand it. Of course, it didn't turn out like such a naive illusion. After school in the classroom, dozens of my classmates crowded around my desk. First, we started studying. Why were my grades so bad? What was the reason? It was decided that we couldn't start until I could clearly answer those questions, become aware of the problem, and show regret for my actions. Oh, in other words, they're not studying and they're just being worthless pieces of shit. Fuck these motherfuckers. Of course, there's no way for me to respond to when asked a question like that. They loathed me all this time. They rejected me and kept me at a distance, preventing me from joining in on their community. So I avoided their community myself. There shouldn't have been any conflict for us either way. So even in this group that was enthusiastic about raising the class average, they obviously kept me at a distance. Even if I tried to join in, they probably would ignore me like they always did in the past. In other words, they don't have lives.
If you just asked, we would have taught you whatever you wanted, right? Right!
They were getting themselves all worked up. I already had enough of the hypocrisy of their tacked-on excuses.
Ushiromiya, your problem is that you're lacking a cooperative personality. You mustn't be satisfied as long as everything is good for you alone.
Oh my god, shut up. You deliberately ostracized her. Fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be knocking a remark every freaking time. Like, okay.
Those who gather in St. Lucia's place of learning shall have a cooperative heart. It's written right here in the student handbook, right?
Let's set the student handbook on fire. Why are you girls so boring?
I think having a cooperative heart is what gives birth to the desire to study together and contribute to the entire class. I believe that itself is the thing you lack even before you start studying, Ushiromiya. But what do you say?
that it's all a hunk of load of bullshit. Who fucking cares about fucking school mottos or whatever? Hey, have you been even listening to us? We went to all the trouble of staying after school to say this is for your sake, right? I'm so grateful I could cry. Of course they didn't like that. This way it almost looks like we're bullying you, they reprimanded me. Fortunately, I'm normally all cried out anyway. If I'm told not to cry, I can hold it back. First, I was made to write a letter of remorse and read it out loud. Of course, this was to be done by today. The class committee politely applied to the student council and the staff room for an extension of the use of this classroom. It seemed it was accepted right away, which means that starting now, I'll be forced into self-criticism for at least a full 5 hours here. Ushiromiya Angie got a low score on her test and caused trouble for her classmates. That's not it, right? I would start just trying to drop her fannies or doing some other shit. They can spend all their time trying to get her to write and rewrite or waste all the papers. Just be a full fucking rebel, Angie. That's what I would recommend. Just going batshit. There are these chairs here, right? Go Rika on them. Treat them like Rika did on Sadako and Saikoroshi. That's what I would do. Fuck this school. I'm going to get kicked out of this fucking school. Anyway.
You getting low grades and causing us trouble isn't the root of the problem, is it? It's a cooperative attitude, right? A cooperative attitude. Come on. Why do we even have to direct Ushiromiya on how to write a letter of regret?
Hi! What's up? Oh, we're going through this painful ass scene of bitches. I can't fucking stand them. Their abusive jeers flew out one after another. I followed their directions and erased it. Ushiromiya Angie didn't have a cooperative attitude and caused trouble for her classmates.
Hey, wait a sec! It's pointless if you just write whatever we say, right? Do you really know what regret means?
Yeah, I could write. Let's grabs a dictionary.
It's pointless if you don't write in your own words. Pointless. I always thought you were a bit strange, Ushiromiya, but you really are weird.
Even following their directions didn't change the jeers much, and now it felt like they were mocking me even more. So for several more hours without rest, without even being allowed to go to the restroom, much less dinner, I was continuously abused. I was coerced into writing a paragraph that humiliated myself. Just pee on them! It's just like, screw it. Screw dignity. They don't have dignity either. Screw it. Screw them. I just go batshit. About 9 at night, I was told to stand up and read it out loud. The contents were smeared black with tears and eraser marks. It was certainly my handwriting, but it was like a list of soulless letters. It was contents I couldn't even remember. Everything had been copied down according to their orders, so while I had been the one to write the letters, they weren't my words. I'd been coerced into writing them down and even coerced into reading them out loud. Even after all this time, I was surprised to learn that, beyond just ignoring people and hiding their things, there are other ways to bully people.
Hey, read it out loud quickly. Look how many people are staying this late just for you, Ushiromiya. Why not thank us a little? Isn't the fact that she doesn't feel gratitude a sign that she doesn't have a scrap of cooperative attitude? It's okay, Ushiromiya. We'll always be with you from now on. Why not study with us and remake yourself, okay?
I'm sorry. If they sound stupid with the laughter, it's on purpose. I hate them. As I stood by my seat, surrounded by them, I dropped my gaze toward the blackened page. And then I spoke those humiliating words, but right away, jeers flew at me, saying that they couldn't hear and to speak up. You know what? I would just read it in the most dumb way possible, like, blah, 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 in a dumb voice. Just freaking... If they're gonna make her stay here all the time, why not make it a show? I can't read it. I had no idea that being forced to read a paragraph humiliating me would be so painful. My throat shook. My fingertips shook. The paragraph of humiliation written in my own handwriting made my eyes burn with hot liquid. So my world blurred and twisted. I saw the girls surrounding me twist and bend. I saw them twist and bend into the impression I had of them. In other words, that was my true field of vision. Beyond that twisted crowd of people, I could see my friends. Compassion could be seen in all of their eyes.
Angie, stay strong.
Maria and Sakutaro were looking at me with sad eyes, probably because they realized that even cheap words of compassion would hurt me. They kept alternating between trying to say something and hanging their heads.
What the hell's wrong with these people?
They're just the worst!
Really pisses me off! What's so fun about gathering around Angie and torturing her? It's a resentment they can't voice despite their jealousy. They don't care who it hurts as long as they can let it out. What horrible people!
Angie! In this kind of situation, it's okay to go mad with rage for your own honor's sake. Anger is an appropriate emotion, and an appropriate reaction. If you don't get mad now, then when will you get mad? Stop it! Don't stir Angie with cheap anger. If Angie could do that, she would have done it already. You should only get angry if doing so will improve the situation. However, from an objective standpoint, doing that now would probably only aggravate the situation further. It may be humiliating, but the wisest thing to do now is to withstand it. You really are a sloth, Belpha. Quit fooling around. I can't stand this. I can't forgive them.
Everyone, calm down. It'll become a burden for Angie.
A burden? What are you talking about? Is this a time or place to be calm? We furniture are not so cruel as to coolly watch when our master is humiliated. Let's try that again.
Everyone, calm down. It'll become a burden for Angie.
A burden? What are you talking about? Is this a time or place to be calm? We furniture are not so cruel as to coolly watch when our master is being humiliated. Angie! You have no obligation to read such a humiliating letter. If you can't let out a cry of rage, then at least throw it onto the floor. You don't need to trash talk them. You don't need to yell so loud that they bend over backwards. Just throw the notebook on the floor with all your might. By doing just that, you'll be able to show your strong will. Don't start running on by yourself, Mammon. I told you, right? If Angie could do it, she would have done so long ago. Nothing will be resolved by the eruption of momentary emotions. Can't you see that by doing that, it will only make their treatment of Angie even more severe? No, I would disagree.
Why is this happening to Angie when she didn't do anything wrong? Not letting her eat dinner and making her stay so long after school, I hate it!
And it's not just tonight, but tomorrow and the day after, too. That's enough. You can't simply just sit here bearing this humiliation.
Hey, are you really listening to us?
Someone tugged at my hair. I was torn back into my tragic reality. I was no longer even permitted to listen to the seven sisters speaking on behalf of my heart. My hair was lifted upwards. One of my hair ornaments came off. I could hear the sound of it rolling onto the ground. No one picked it up. To the contrary, they casually avoided it, as though something filthy was rolling toward them. I tried to follow with my eyes, but my hair was tugged upwards again.
Why do you never listen to us even though we're talking about something so serious? One ear and out the other, is it? Does anything ever get into that thick skull of yours? Get a grip, okay? Are you really cautious of the trouble you're causing us? You're gonna start saying that you just wrote grudgingly because we told you to, right?
Hey, you said it, not me, bitch.
Until you show your regret of your own will, this seriously isn't gonna end, okay? It's not just to today. It'll seriously keep on going tomorrow and the day after, you see. Don't you play with us for fools, okay?
Oh, so you really want to do the same thing like this over and over and over again? What boring girls.
I mean, why are you even still alive? Is it normal to go on living like this? If it were me, I'd just die.
Well, I don't really think what you're doing is normal either, you freak of nature.
You can't live like this, can you? 'Cause you being alive just means getting in people's way all the time, right? If it were me, I definitely couldn't live on. Yeah, I'd die too. If doing that's better for the world, then I'd die right away, right?
Then die. Angie. Kill all of them now! Lucifer, can you hear me? You 7 sisters of purgatory are incredible furniture that can massacre mere humans in a flash, right? You're always boasting about it to me. Then do it! Massacre them right now! Right here, right now! Well, for some reason, Lucifer hesitated. Why? What's wrong? You're certain kill furniture that can fly around faster than the eye can see and can instantly pierce the hearts of witches' enemies, right? And I'm giving you an order as your master. Carry it out right away! Kill! Kill them all! Angie, please calm down. If they had immediately followed my brutal order, making heaps of corpses with me at the center, I was ready to reflect on my own reckless actions of stealing human lives so readily, ready to regret and repent, just as they want me to. I was prepared to do that, and yet Lucifer just let an unsure expression rise to her face and didn't move to carry out my order. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. Vaguely. No, that's not right. I've known from the beginning. I've known the magic was all empty this whole time, haven't I? Angie, this is not right. You need to learn how to be creative and beat up these bitches your own way. The 7 sisters are purgatory! Yeah, right! Stupid. So pointless. I've known it the whole time. Angie. I glared into the worthless Lucifer's eyes, and pain seemed to accompany that gaze. As though she was being assaulted with a violent headache, Lucifer grasped her head with both arms. But it looked like she couldn't tear her eyes off my gaze, so she was assaulted with a pain that grew more and more violent. Useless! Useless! I hate you! Disappear! You're nothing but a delusion inside my head! Hopelessness and disappointment, resignation and a dream's end. A cracking sound like you'd hear from a frozen lake's surface during a fierce winter rang out just once. At the same time, Lucifer's form, which was being tormented by a violent pain, stiffened in place and grew cloudy. It was almost as though a beautifully polished glass window had been heartlessly smashed and turned white from the countless fissures. And that was an accurate analogy. At some point, Lucifer's form had turned into a glass ornament of the same shape. Countless fissures ran through it from the inside. As the head and arms collapsed, it crumbled onto the floor.
Lucy?
Who's the second sister? Leviathan? Carry out my order! Massacre them right now!
No, Angie, please calm your heart and listen.
I'm not looking for excuses or backtalk or an answer. I want nothing more than a swift confirmation of my order to eradicate the girls who are humiliating me. If you're going to say anything else, there's no need for me to listen until the end. After Leviathan also turned white due to the countless cracks throughout her whole body, she fell over backwards, splitting into separate parts along her neck, hip, and arms. If she'd been smashed to bits and lost her original form, it probably wouldn't have seemed so brutal, so seeing the two of them halfway left over made the remaining younger sister shake even harder. Why won't you listen to my orders? Why? Why? My apologies. Here, under the current conditions, the anti-magic power is extremely strong and... What's that? You can't do it because humans are here? That's your logic? Isn't killing humans what you do? If you can't do that, then what use are you as furniture? Die! Please, spare me, Angie! As she clutched her head with both arms, Satan also turned white and fell down face first. Apparently the neck is the most slender part after all. Her head slid off and rolled over to Belfager's feet. You can't do it because there's too many humans. Then later on I'll call them to the shadows one by one, and you can make a bloodbath out of all of them, right? With your current magical power, it may be easy for you to converse with us. However, you still lack the training to materialize us in front of all the humans here. I deeply understand your anger, but even if you could use us to attack and murder everyone here, that'd only make your situation worse. I know it's humiliating, but please control your anger for the time being. Will I get the same answer from the next three? Are you gonna tell me you can't do it because the anti-magic power is too great? Are you gonna tell me you can't do it because my magical power is too weak? Then I won't ask you to kill all of them. Just one person's fine, so try and kill them. Right here, right now! As Asmodeus and Beelzebub held each other, they crouched down, cringing in fear under my glare. If they'd been able to obey my order, they probably would have carried it out immediately. And yet here they were, crouching down, empty, sad, and pathetic. That's right, I've known. These girls can't even touch reality with one of their fingers. No! Bells, I'm scared! Bells! Angie, please spare us! Spare us! I don't want to die! Die, useless furniture! Why are you guys even alive? Why are you alive when your lives are worthless? It doesn't matter if you die right. Die! I'm telling you to die! You think any idiot would leave furniture that has no use lying around? Please stop, Angie! What is it, Mammon? Are you going to be the only one to fulfill my order? That's right. You're my best friend. You alone will do so for me. Get them! As you are now, Angie, even if you use us, you aren't capable of committing murder. It's Furniture's duty to help with the things their master can do. Things that even the master can't do, we can't do. But you hate them, Angie. You hate them, right? I totally understand why you want to kill them. Okay, in that case, go ahead and kill them, Angie. If you stain your own hands with blood, then we, the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, will go along with however far you go. I'm asking you all because I can't do it myself, aren't I? Isn't being able to do things I can't the thing that makes you furniture? Yes, we are furniture. Furniture to be used. Please, go ahead and use us to kill. You'll be the one killing, Angie. If you're saying that you want to kill them all, then go ahead and be my guest. No need to hesitate. Go and carry it out right now. And once you prepared yourself mentally, once you're prepared to dirty your own hands, then we'll help you. But you haven't done that, Angie. Don't speak, furniture. You delusion. I get it already. You don't all have to tell me. You people can't do anything. You're nothing more than my delusions. Illusions. Daydreams. I hadn't had a single friend from the very beginning. You're just a phantom. A pretend friend I created in my heart. In my isolation, right? I've known from the very beginning. Yeah, that's right. We're an illusion inside your head, Angie. But so what? Yes, that's true. We're just imaginary friends created to soothe lonely Angie's heart because she doesn't have a single friend. But so what? If you want to look at reality, just look at it. You can stop looking at us and return to being surrounded and bathed with jeering over there. Come on! Go back and welcome home to reality. Just call on us only when it's convenient for you and pretend you have friends. Then spur on us even though you don't have the guts to dirty your own hands and deny and erase all of us once you realize it's hopeless. Yes, please enjoy it. I'll leave with a shriek of anguish just like you want, Angie. Just copy the jeering that you're being showered with right now and do the same to us to get it off your chest. That's also Furniture's duty. Getting slammed against the floor when someone's pissed off is also a chair's important duty. If that alone can absorb their master's bad mood even for an instant, there can be no greater honor for Furniture. Kill me. Deny me. Your first and final friend! At the end, Mammon had a mocking expression on her face, but for some reason, it looked splashed with tears. Mammon, Beelzebub, and Asmodeus were smashed and fell to the floor. I would never do this to my magic friends. Angie, what the hell? Yeah. But seriously, though, I think, like, I had a better explanation, because it's just like, well, they're in 2 different dimensions. Ta-da! There, you have a canon answer. But Angie's like... Anyway.
Uryu. Come over here, Sakutaro. Angie is a little agitated right now, so you mustn't get close. What about everyone else? Are all the 7 sisters alive? Did they die? It's okay. It looks gruesome, but those aren't the remains of their vessels after being deported from the human world. Shells that have been shed, so it's alright. They're probably deeply hurt, but they're okay. Everyone is alive. I'm sure we'll be able to meet them again someday. Uryu, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Angie's violated the contract of Mariachi Sorciere. To do such a horrible thing, even the witches of the Alliance must respect and accept one another. Even though they were all important friends to you, Angie.
No Witches Alliance has anything to do with this. Magic friends? Give me a break. I killed them. Erased them. I smashed the 7 sisters.
Uryu, that's so cruel. So cruel.
Just give it a rest with this playing witches thing. I'm begging you. Maria and Sakutaro, I want you to disappear by yourselves. Even in my imagination, I don't want to kill and erase you.
We aren't your imagination. We're your friends, Angie.
Sakutaro said that as he hid behind Maria, sobbing. Sakutaro doesn't exist. Sakutaro is also an imaginary creature One-chan created to distract herself from her loneliness.
It hurts. It hurts, Maria. Why? Why? Stop it. Denying my friend is one thing I will not permit.
The same power that had smashed the 7 sisters was probably eating into Sakutaro as well. But Maria was apparently protecting him with some other power. So Sakutaro's form didn't break and scatter. One-chan glared at me sharply. It was a serious expression I had never seen before.
Sakutaro is my furniture. You cannot erase him, Angie. However, trying to deny someone is the greatest form of scorn for a witch.
Sakutaro didn't exist from the very beginning. He's just a lion stuffed animal. A phantom you personified with illusions inside your own mind.
That's not true! Sakutaro is my friend! He was a stuffed animal once, but now he isn't!
No, he's a stuffed animal. A stuffed animal made of cloth and cotton. He can't move or talk by himself. You're just talking for him like a ventriloquist, right? You call that magic? You call that a witch? You call that a friend? I can't accept that. Well, they're more friendly than those bitches that were being bitchy to you. Isn't that better than not having any friends?
Uryu, am I not me? Am I just a stuffed animal that can't really talk and not Maria's friend?
As though struck with a high fever, Sakutaro weakened bit by bit as he clung to One-chan's body. All he did was continue to stand, but his body began to gradually slip down. As he did, One-chan held him, yelling at me as tears streamed down her face.
Stop it! Don't burn Sakutaro with a magic-resisting toxin! Don't bully him! Don't insult him! Don't deny him! Maria, you're so weird! There's no Sakutaro. Stuffed animals are stuffed animals. I learned from Mama that they're made of cloth and cotton. There's no way that they can walk or talk. Sakutaro! Sakutaro! already. I hate you, Angie! Why say something like that? Hate! 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 I hate you! You're not my friend! I won't let you be one of those witches anymore! Upon my name, the Witch of Origins...
Oh, I messed up, I'm sorry.
Upon my name, the Apprentice Witch of Origins, Maria, I hereby expel the Apprentice Witch Angie from the Mariachi Sorciera Alliance of Witches!
And then, what had been peaceful days to me became a daydream, and ended. By now, it's possible to prove. No one can verify whether that really was magic, or whether those were really my friends, or else nothing more than a daydream. I, the sole observer, concluded that they were a daydream. So that became the truth. Perhaps in the farther future, I'll observe it again. And when that happens, maybe I'll acknowledge that that wasn't a dream, and that the seven sisters really were my friends, and that along with Maria and Sakutaro, they did everything they could for me in my isolation. Something so vague that neither the truth nor an illusion. Maybe the reality here and now is the only world with the real me. Where is the real me? I mean, I understand Angie's what she's doing in a sense, but I can't condone what she's doing to her friends, even if they're not real. The person standing amidst the girl's exposed wreckage that resembles broken glass sculptures. That girl who's breathing harshly, her shoulders heaving, isn't me. I'm over there. The me that's surrounded by the crowd and being showered by jeers, and who's hanging her head, her eyes red. Isn't the me over there the real me? I won't dream anymore, because there's nowhere left to run. I'm going back. I'll return myself to the cage made of flesh.
Hey! Are you listening to us? It's not like anything will be resolved if you just stand there hanging your head, right?
I hear you.
Oh, you finally answered. You aren't thinking that this will end if you stay silent or that we'll forgive you if you cry, right? We're asking if you're aware. We're asking if you're aware of the trouble you're causing those around you.
I slowly nodded. I acknowledged it. I acknowledged that I slipped into my world of my daydream, trying to remain separate from the others in my class, to separate myself from and disgrace those sisters who spoke to me with reliable and kind words, despite being totally unable to help when I really wanted them to. I acknowledged that. I, Ushiromiya Angie, do not have a cooperative attitude and cause trouble for my classmates. There's nothing to blame for that except for my excessive inferiority complex toward all of my classmates because of my inability to study, and it's a shame that I'm alive. Starting there, I was no longer reading the paragraph they made me write. It was me improvising, and it was what was in my heart. They noticed that it wasn't what they anticipated, but while they did frown, no one spoke, so I continued. That's right. It's a shame that I lived. I should have had them take me with them on that day in 1986, and yet I was the only one who wasn't taken. Why am I here? This isn't the world I'm supposed to be in. No one will save me. For a time, I felt as though only the fictional friends I created inside myself could save me, but those friends are nothing more than a delusion. And they didn't save me at all. After all, this isn't a world of imagination, but a world of reality. So in short, up until today, I've been having the same daydream. I hated my real classmates and only lived by interacting with the friends in my mind. Just now I split up with those friends, so I am here. I have no family. I've thrown my friends away too. There's no longer anything left for me. Why haven't I died? Someone asked that a short while ago. I think they're right. Why am I alive? I should have died in the year 1986. No, I must have really died. And yet, my dead soul is still locked up inside this cage of flesh. So I'll ask someone. If no one answers, I'll do it myself. Please. let me die. I spoke that sentence and looked around. Dumbfounded girls, shocked girls, girls whose faces seemed to be saying, "What the heck is this kid talking about?" And a bit late, more and more girls with faces that said, "Is this girl alright?" And then, when I ordered the friends in my daydream to kill, they couldn't do it. And so, I asked real humans to kill me. But of course, these girls can't do it either. In other words, both daydreams and reality are the same. Does this mean that, including this world, absolutely everything is a daydream? Then, there's no problem, right? After all, on that day when I lost my family, I was already dead. Everything that happened afterward is going on in my head, my life flashing before my eyes after I failed to die. Once I understood that, it felt like the scenery surrounding me began to twist and bend slightly. Yeah. I'll finally wake up. I'll be released from this daydream world. I feel my consciousness sliding away. That's alright. Fade farther and farther away. Take me to my family. And no matter what happens in this twisted, stale world, I won't mind it at all. I saw the grab get pushed aside as a teacher stepped in. Perhaps a teacher doing the rounds happened to notice a strange disturbance. The teacher was vigorously shouting something, moving to protect me. Watching that, I knew that an ally had prepared for me, even if there was only one. I felt my awareness return very slightly. The only ones who can save me in the world of reality are real humans. Never again. Never again will I seek rescue from my daydreams. This is the world of humans. Nothing can save a human except other humans.
I see. If that's what you think, then that's your world, Angie. Can Angie find happiness this way? If Angie believes that's the only way to find happiness, then that's the only way. If she can't accept the blue bird in the cage for what it is, then she must go and search forever. Maria, are you breaking off relations with Angie? No, nothing like that. I only did that because that's what Angie wanted. We witches are sometimes persecuted. However, we always remain by everyone's sides, and our aid can always be asked for. Will the day come when Angie will play with us once again? Maybe, or she might forget, and it'll never come. In the human world, we call that growing up and saying goodbye to your childhood self. Still, if Angie just remembers, we'll always be by her side, and until then, we'll be waiting.
Angie. I think this one is also another sad scene.
Maria, answer me. So I really am a stuffed animal? I'm made of cloth and cotton, so there's no way I can talk? So I can't talk to Maria?
Sakutaro looked up at Maria sadly. Maria's face covered with tears. It looked as though it had lost all trace of sadness.
I hear you, Sakutaro. You aren't a stuffed animal made of cloth and cotton. You are my friend. I hate Angie. Sorry, Maria. Sorry, Maria.
Sakutaro regretted doing that. By freezing her heart, Maria had finally been able to escape from her sadness. By speaking up and calling her back, he caused her to be overwhelmed with sadness again. Sakutaro tried hugging Maria, letting go of her. and gazing at her uneasily, lost at how he could bring Maria's spirits up. He might have looked a little humorous doing that. In the end, that was enough to distract Maria from her sadness.
Sorry, crying won't help anything anymore. You got in a fight with Angie, but you still have lots of friends, Maria. I'm not the only one. Everyone's here. Sakusuke and Sakukichi, the animal band, and many, many more.
Maria looked at the many stuffed animals around her pillow, which were gathered together, as though they were having an idle chit-chat.
Everyone is worried about you, Maria. They're all talking over and over on how to cheer you up, okay? Everyone won't go away like Angie. They won't. We'll always be together. Really? All of you are only with me at home. We can't go out together when Mama's around and we can't go to school. You aren't supposed to take us to school, so you'll get in trouble if the teacher finds out. But if no one finds out, we can be together at any time. Sakutaro, you're big, so you be found. Then you can take one of the kids that are small enough to walk around with. For example, what about them? If you take the friends in the forest band. Look, they're small, so you can hide them in your pocket and go to school together. There's a lot of them in a band. I can't fit them all in my pocket.
She collected all the forest band pieces that were scattered across her bed. There were about as many of them as pieces in the chess set. It'd probably be impossible to fit them all in her pocket. Ah, here's another subtle one. Find stuff that can fit in your folder. That's what I do.
In that case, you can just take friends that you're especially close with. You can take the 4 rabbits and your best friends in the forest band. I could fit 4 in my pockets. Yeah, this way they won't be found. Now you won't be alone even at school, Maria. Those kids will be with you even where I can't go. Yeah, maybe I won't be lonely that way. Maybe I can hold out until coming home from school. As long as we aren't found by the teacher and Mama, we can be with you at any time. So let's be together and play together forever. We definitely won't leave you all alone, Maria.
Maria's expression finally gained a little of its brightness. I mean, I have a different magic compendium, so. That's right. In the beginning, Maria's world didn't have Angie in it. Even without Angie, it was fun with everyone. And yet, strangely enough, it suddenly became sad without Angie, who had come in at the end. All that's happened is that I returned to the world right before Angie entered it. So there's nothing to be sad about. Yeah, I'm not lonely. Sakutaro and the others are with me. I love you, Maria. I won't let any more humans come into my world. Mariachi Sorcier is an alliance between me and Beatrice only. From the start, even Beatrice didn't want to let Angie join. It's alright this way. Angie was still too young. For now, until you can be friends with Angie again, I think it's okay to forget about it. You can play together once you regain your high spirits, Maria. Until then, all of us will be by your side. Thank you, Sakutaro, everyone. Then Maria once again regained her former world. She regained the world that wasn't lonely, where she was surrounded by many friends. Just like usual, she didn't have any human friends at school, but her magic friends were always with her. The rabbit band she hid in her pockets talked with her during class, sounded like they were having fun. Just listening to that greatly embellished the time she spent in class. Maria made it so that as long as Mama and the teachers didn't find out, her other friends would always be with her. When Mama told Maria to go play outside, Maria would secretly pack Sakutaro and Sakusuke and the rest into her bag and play together at the library or somewhere. Even when Mama was late coming home and Maria went shopping for dinner, she always went with Sakutaro. The man at the convenience store and the other people were nice to Sakutaro. He sometimes gave a second portion free for Maria and Sakutaro. When Mama found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing Sakutaro and the rest outside. When the teacher found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing toys to school. The toxin must be strong on Mama and the teacher. That's why Sakutaro looks like a normal stuffed animal to them. After all, Okay. After all, the convenience store man and the others say hi to Sakutaro.
Not all humans are hopeless. There are tons of humans who, unlike Angie and Mama and the teacher, can say hello to magic friends like I can.
Oh, Maria, welcome. Was your mama late coming home tonight too?
Yeah, but I've got Sakutaro, so I'm not lonely. Right, Sakutaro? It's not just Sakutaro today. Some other friends came too.
Oh, other friends is it? What kind of friends did you bring today?
Today the rabbits from the forest band are also with me. Look, in my pocket.
Maria began to line up 4 ceramic rabbit dolls on the register. As the owner of the shop looked at it smiling, he sent a signal to a part-timer with his chin. The sign on the other register that said closed was taken down, and a voice called out for everyone to move over there. All the people in line behind Maria lined up behind that one. I see. You do have a lot of friends, Maria, but I hope your mama comes home soon.
Mama's busy with work again, so she's spending the night at the company. It's been very busy lately. She hasn't even been able to get much time to talk to me on the telephone. But I'm not lonely. I've got Sakutaro and the rest, right? I've even got all the rabbits from the band. Look! Cue!
Is Q the sound a rabbit makes? My, I've never heard that. After smiling at Sakutaro, who was poking his head out of her knapsack, she played around with the rabbit band on the register, making them frolic around. Although the shop manager gazed at this pleasantly, he had a slightly pitying look on his face. This was apparently a single mother household, where the mother had to work very hard and couldn't come home very often. On top of that, it looked like this girl didn't even have any friends. As he watched her play around happily with her dolls and claim that she wasn't lonely despite everything, he couldn't help but feel a kind of compassion. And actually, this wasn't limited to him alone. Maria had become quite famous in this shopping district. Maria, you should eat some oden every once in a while. If you don't eat your eggs and fish paste, you won't get big.
Huh? Can't get a cream roll? If you don't eat certain things, you won't get big. How about oden for today? Then I'll have some oden.
Yep, that's the ticket. Why don't I stick a whole bunch in there? Want mustard?
I can't handle spicy things.
I see. Then make sure you don't let it spill on the way home. It'll sure be delicious while it's hot.
Thank you.
She planned on getting some sweet pastries for dinner, but since oden had been recommended to her, she'd be having that tonight instead. Letting someone else determine the menu makes for an unexpected and interesting meal. Very often, Maria had to decide what her dinner would be on her own. It'd be easy for the menus to get a little one-sided. So it felt fun to have a meal she hadn't anticipated.
Thanks for giving us extra, mister.
Send my regards to your other friends at home. No stuffing yourself on your way back. Go straight home and eat it there.
Thanks, mister.
Maria raised the bag with the oden container high. Uh-oh. More rough times. Also, Rosa being a bad mom.
Huh? What is it, Maria?
Also, this is a very triggering point because I had a similar thing happen to me. I mean, they didn't go as far as Rosa, but they hid something from me and pretended that they destroyed it. And they watched me cry for 15 minutes. So, anyway.
The key isn't in my pocket.
Standing in front of the door to her house, Maria searched all over her body. The key to the house wasn't there. She always methodically put it in the same pocket, so there was no way she'd put it into another pocket. She searched her whole body just in case. Unsurprisingly, it wasn't there.
Did you drop it when you took your wallet out? No. When I took my wallet out, I definitely felt it. I also felt it when I searched my pocket part way here. It was there until part way. I didn't drop it.
Even though the late autumn wind had been bearable when Maria had been thinking of returning home where the heater was. Now that she was confused and lost her key, that wind tormented her. But no matter how hard she searched, she couldn't find her key. She turned out all her pockets and even tried taking off her jacket and hitting it, but to no avail. Of course, she also turned the knapsack Sakutaro was in upside down, but the key didn't come out. Something that should have been there wasn't where it was supposed to be. Why wasn't the key there when I didn't do anything wrong? Why isn't it? Why? Why? Maria was cold and frustrated and hungry. She stamped on the ground. The ball of her foot throbbed, but that didn't lessen her frustration. At the same time, her tears poured out. It wasn't her fault, so it was someone else's fault. But Maria didn't know who that someone was and could do nothing but continue to let out a moan of anger.
Uryu, I'm sure you dropped it part way. Let's look for it, okay? Let's return the road we came by and search, okay? Even though I went through all the trouble of buying oden and got eggs and stuff for free, I won't be able to eat it while it's hot. Maria, I know it's frustrating, but let's search, okay? It's no one's fault, so let's search.
Maria finally lent an ear to Sakutaro's words and began to trot back down the road she had come on. The wind was colder than before, and it felt like it was blowing in through the corners of her jacket in a mean way.
Uryu, let's watch our feet closely and search, okay? Then let's get home quickly and let the heater warm us up and eat the oden, alright? I'm sure it'll be delicious. Gone! It's gone!
As Sakutaro encouraged her, Maria searched for the key. But she made it all the way back to the convenience store where she bought the oden. She hadn't found it. Just in case, she asked the man at the convenience store whether they had found a dropped key, but they hadn't found anything. One more time, she returned home, paying close attention to the area around her feet, but unsurprisingly, she didn't find it. She was no longer frustrated enough to stomp her feet, but hot tears dripped down her face. The oden had cooled down completely. Even though she had been told it would be delicious when warm, she hadn't been able to eat it, even though that man had given her so much free stuff.
Uryu, don't cry. Mama isn't coming back tonight. Let's do our best and search. Why can't I find it? Maria, don't cry. Let's do our best and search. Maria.
Maria was no longer able to hold back her tears. Sobbing, she clutched Sakutaro and held the bag of oden, returning once more down the road she had come by. Perhaps because more and more houses and stores had turned their lights off by now, it was even darker and harder to search than before. And once again, without finding the key, she returned to the convenience store. Maria, you still can't find your key?
My key! It's gone!
Wasn't your mother away for the night, so you can't get into your house without a key?
Can't get in.
Well, that's not good. Did you try going to the police? They might be able to help you.
Mama said not to talk to policemen even if they start talking to me.
Oh, well, why is that? It was probably because Rosa would be liable for making such a young girl like Maria watch over the house by herself, and because she knew that this wasn't something that could be permitted by society. So Maria was indoctrinated into changing the stores she bought things at so she didn't catch the eyes of adults, and into saying no more than agreeing to policemen even if they talked to her. Maria had obediently done as she was told. Instead of considering why she must do that, she was much more concerned with meekly obeying because her mother had told her so. But the manager of the convenience store probably didn't think of it that way. In the first place, seeing such a young girl being forced to watch over the house alone and so frequently would make anyone worry. And then, after making the round trip between her home and the store once more and arriving at the convenience store for a third time, a policeman was there. It's that child. Maria, did you find your key?
Didn't find it.
What's your name, miss? The policeman asked her name, but Maria didn't answer. Did your mother tell you not to talk to policemen? Don't worry, no need to be scared of me. Have you eaten dinner yet, miss?
I bought some, but I couldn't get into my house, so I couldn't eat it.
What's your mother doing? Is she not coming home tonight? Is it her work? Do you know how we can contact your mother at work? Maria hung her head limply. She didn't understand why the policeman was getting mad at her. No, he probably wasn't getting mad at her, but if this reached her mother's ears, she would definitely be in trouble. Even if she didn't understand the reason why she would be in trouble, she at least understood that much. But the policeman wouldn't let Maria go. Her head was swimming from hunger. The policeman noticed that. It was decided he'd listen to her story as they ate in the police box. Maria was taken to the police box. She had her oden heated in a microwave oven, and even salty rice cakes and hot tea were brought out for her. She'd been told not to talk to policemen, but after being asked about Sakutaro, she responded and started to feel that this wasn't a bad person. And anyway, she wouldn't be able to return home now, so she didn't know what to do. She told him Mama's work phone number, which she had been told not to tell anyone of and only use in a very, very serious situation. In the tatami room, inside the police box, she ate that oden that was so hot, it felt like it would burn her. She watched the policeman make the phone call, lazily thinking, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. Will Mama get mad at me? He must have been listening to the phone ringing for a very long time. With the receiver up to his ear, the policeman looked up at the clock, grumbling. Maybe they aren't picking up because their business hours are over. Huh? Hello? Hello? Is this Auntie Rosa Ltd? This is Komatsukawa Police Department police box in front of Senbon Zakura Station. Is President, Udaikan... No, wait. President Ushiromiya available? Yes. What? She's on vacation. Yes, starting yesterday the president has been on a 3-day vacation. Is there some business you have with her? Oh, no, never mind. So, do you know where she might be? You haven't heard where to contact her, have you? Sure, could you hold on for a sec? Hey, anyone heard where the president went for her vacation? Or how to contact her? I heard she was going for an all-you-can-eat crabs and Sapporo with her boyfriend. I'm sure such a cold place will do wonders for shrinking the distance between them, don't you? I haven't heard how to contact them. Yep, understood. Hello. I heard she went to Sapporo, but I'm not sure how to reach her. Should I take a message? I see. What a shame. Well then, if you manage to get in touch with her again, could you tell her that we called? Sure, yes. After that, I was taken to the police department, which was even bigger, and ended up spending the night there. And then they asked me various things about myself. A lady who called herself a district welfare officer came by and asked me about a lot of things, and I was told, you poor thing. When I heard that, I learned for the first time. Am I a poor thing? Uryu, that's not true. You're happy, Maria. Oh no. Then Rosa came back. Maria was told to go to her room. While on her way back from the bathroom, she hid by the entrance to the living room and listened in on the exchange. The person who had come to visit was a female district welfare officer who had asked Maria various questions on that other day. You can't be so pushy! Maria's heart is too innocent and delicate, so if there was an insensitive kid there, she could be hurt. Please stop your pointless meddling. But in that case, miss, if the child is so delicate, why leave her home all alone? Shouldn't a mother be together with her child? I am together with her as much as I should be! I don't need to take instructions from you for something like that! Oh, really? She's really well known in this area. They say your daughter frequently goes out at night to buy things and eat. Everyone was worried and looking out for her. How do you know that was my child? There's got to be plenty of children around this town, right? Don't just suddenly decide that it's my Maria. Kids sometimes walk around outside at night, right? How can you prove that they were all my child? Well, it's well known around the shopping center that a girl holding a lion stuffed animal often stops by to eat dinner and buy things. Everyone treated Maria with care out of concern for her. Sometimes people even escorted her home, thinking that the night roads might be dangerous, you see. You can find lion stuffed animals anywhere! It is none of their business escorting her home. Are they thinking of kidnapping Maria? Don't bother her! Maria is my child. I'm raising her. I have no intention of putting her in some strange institution. Stop your needless meddling!
Uryu, does that lion stuffed animal mean me? It's okay. I'm the one in trouble. It has nothing to do with you, Sakutaro.
Maria hugged Sakutaro, continuing to watch her mother fearfully. I also wish I could be with Maria every day, but I'm a single mother, so I have to work. I may not look like it, but I'm a president of the company and I bear responsibility for my employees' well-being. I'm busy with my work all year round, so there's no time for me to rest. Really? But you've been on vacation these last 3 days, haven't you? I have not been on vacation. I've stayed at my company all night working. There's a mountain of matters to be taken care of that other unreliable employees can't handle. Why are you lying like that? Someone from your company said that you were taking a 3-day vacation, you see. You went to Hokkaido with your boyfriend, right? Leaving your daughter by herself for 3 whole days. I don't know anything about this boyfriend. I don't know anything about Hokkaido. Where are you getting this nonsense? Why? Why? Do you have any proof? What the hell? Don't just start butting in on someone else's family matters. I love Maria. I have my own way of loving her, so just keep your mouth shut. I didn't go on a vacation because I was working the whole time. I was trying to face things up with work with all my strength, because I wanted to see Maria as soon as I could. I stayed at the company the whole time. I don't know anything about Hokkaido. Just go ahead and say something like that. Just get out! Get out! What's wrong with you? Get out! Get out! Rosa raged, her hair flying wildly. A teacup was knocked over from the force of her standing up. Far louder than was the sound of her beating the table with both hands. When faced with this rage that could accurately be described as wide-eyed derangement, the district welfare officer couldn't help but be taken aback. And the same went for Maria, who was secretly watching this from the hallway. She had already seen her mother in a rage several times before this, but she'd never seen her this crazed with anger. When she saw this, Maria was sure this was no longer her mother. It was some other evil being that was possessing her mother's body. And then she herself was discovered by the evil being. Maria knew that she was being reflected in the evil being's eyes. Her mind went blank. She felt as though her field of vision was racing off into the distance. After fiercely closing in Maria, Rosa mercilessly slapped her small shoulders and dropped her gaze toward the stuffed animal Maria was holding, Sakutaro. Maria, even though I told you so many times not to take that outside, you brought it with you, didn't you?
Uryu, it isn't Maria's fault. I told her to take me. That's not true. I brought Sakutaro on my own because I was lonely. So, Mama, it isn't Sakutaro's fault. Uryu, Maria. It's not Sakutaro's fault. It's not Sakutaro's fault.
Instead of Maria, the brunt of Rosa's anger was aimed at the lion stuffed animal Maria was holding. A girl went shopping in the middle of the night, always clutching a lion stuffed animal. Because of that, she'd been well known in the shopping center. Didn't I tell you not to take your stuffed animals with you? Why? Why can't you? Listen to what Mama says! Why? Why can't you follow Mama's rules? With every single word, she stamped her heel and banged furiously on the wall. Of course, she didn't make direct contact with Maria. However, the violence of that harsh sound certainly beat against her. Miss, stop that! Let go! I said let go, damn it! The district welfare officer had come back to her senses and was pinning Rosa's arms behind her back. But the instant Rosa was touched, she went wild, furiously throwing the welfare officer off. She hit the table and fell to the ground. A teacup on the table smashed on the floor, making a violent sound.
Maria didn't do anything wrong. It's my fault, so don't scold Maria. Don't scold Maria!
You! What were you doing just now and a minute ago, too? Do you also play with dolls like that outside? Did you do it in front of the people in the store? So that's why they remembered you! Die, you brainless moron! Why are you such a dumbass? Answer me honestly. When you went out, you always walked around with that stuffed animal without telling Mama, right?
Lydia...
Stop using that weird stuffed animal talk! Speak with your own words and not stuffed animals!
Sakutaro isn't a stuffed animal! He's my friend! Don't call him a stuffed animal! Don't!
Yeah, I get it. It was called Sakutaro, was it? You took him with all the time you went shopping without telling Mama, right?
Yeah?
Maria admitted it honestly. If she had admitted, then Sakutaro would have said something to take the blame. So by admitting it right away, she was protecting her small friend. Only Sakutaro? Any others? You haven't been bringing weird things to school too, have you? Miss, surely your daughter has done nothing wrong. Stop this interrogation at once. You stay quiet! I'm talking with my daughter, aren't I? Come on, Maria. Look at Mama when you talk. What's the answer to Mama's question?
It wasn't just Sakutaro. All the rabbits were with me too.
Do you have them with you right now? Maria fished around her pockets, pulling out 4 ceramic rabbits with her tiny hand. The rabbits were her close friends who could be together with her at school in Sakutaro's place. But when Rosa saw that, she shook her head slightly as though dizzy. On a school notice, it had been written that Maria was apparently bringing toys to school and playing with them, and her family was instructed to try and prevent this. But Rosa had rejected that, blaming the teacher and phoning in on a protest of her own to the school, saying that there was no way her child would bring toys to school. For nearly an hour, she shouted at the vice principal to stop making false accusations about her daughter. To a certain degree, those at school had grasped that Maria was a pitiful girl. They knew that the small toys she brought in were her only friends, so they'd done her best to overlook it. When the other students caught sight of them, some of the boys started complaining that only she could bring toys, and the schools racked their brains on how to cope with this. They tried to gently send a warning by the way of the mother, but after Rosa's overreaction, even Maria's teacher decided to overlook it. But now Rosa knew. She'd been the one who was wrong, and her daughter really had been bringing toys to school, and those at school had known that she was the disgrace who brought toys to school and played with them as though they were her only friends. To Rosa, who thought her daughter was just a little different from normal children, having this peculiar side of her daughter exposed and found fault with was more than anything something she couldn't bear. So she howled. She raged. The district welfare officer tried to cut in between Rosa and Maria again, but she was only met with Rosa's wrath once more. Rosa once again threw the woman off with a face like a demon. And when even that failed to curb her anger, she stomped on the ground over and over again, so forcefully it seemed she might break through the floor. Then, after seeming to come back to her senses for a second, she immediately froze her harsh breathing and asked Maria, "Maria, those rabbits in the band, are they your close friends?" "I see. Isn't that great that you have full 4 friends?" As she said that, Rosa grabbed one of the rabbits from Maria's hand. Then she shoved it in front of Maria's eyes so she could see it very well. The cute rabbit holding a trumpet was a small doll like a chess piece. She slowly lifted it into the air. Of course, Maria and Sakutaro's eyes also followed it. And then, with a speed the eye couldn't follow, she smashed it against the wall. She had half imagined the worst possible thing might happen, so she instantly realized what had been done. So Maria let out a short, despairing scream. It was in pieces. It had been small and sturdy, but that hadn't been enough to withstand her mother's fierce rage. "Because you didn't listen to what Mama told you, I broke one of them. From now on, every time you disobey something that Mama says, I'll break another one." "Remember that!" "Miss, you think to call yourself a mother after doing something like that? You think you can do something like that and not hurt your daughter?" "Hurt Maria? I'm also hurting, right? Who's gonna take responsibility for my wounds?" "Well, Didn't I tell you to shut up?
Stop it, Mama! It's my fault! Don't get mad at this lady! It isn't Maria's fault, it's mine! Don't get mad at Maria!
Didn't I tell you to stop playing with stuffed animals like that? In the first place, it's disgusting. You say a stuffed animal is your friend? Just how old are you? How old? Well? This is just a gross, crappy stuffed animal made of cloth and cotton, right? This is the only kind of friend you have? If you have enough spare time to pretend this monstrous stuffed animal is your friend, go out and make some real human friends! Why can't you never make any friends? That's why your class always treats you like a weirdo and makes fun of you! Give it a rest and get a hold of yourself already! Grow up from this stuffed animal play! Like I said, stop playing with stuffed animals!
Mama! Give him back! Give Sakutaro back! Mama grabbed hold of Sakutaro's head and took him from me. Then she smashed him against the wall over and over. It hurts!
I said stop, damn it! I told you to stop that stuffed animal act! It's because of this stuffed animal! That's why you can never make any friends, and that's why you alone are pushed off to the side of your class and treated like a freak! I should have never given you a stuffed animal like this! I should have never given you such a disgusting stuffed animal!
Stop it! Give Sakutaro back! Give Sakutaro back! Sakutaro is my friend! My best friend! As long as Sakutaro's there, I don't need anything else, so give him back! Give him back! For some reason, my frantic request just added oil to the fire of Mama's anger. Mama pushed my arm aside as I tried to grab Sakutaro and snatch him back. And in a bizarre way, she stuck her fingernails on both hands deep into Sakutaro, squishing him. The red muffler, which I carefully wrapped for him every day, came off and fell to the floor. Sakutaro, who had been so precious to me, was twisted and smashed and torn at with the fingernails so much he was twisted painfully, his face curving in sadness. Then Mama's fingernails found a stitch on the neck and tore it with the fingernails of both hands. She tore it apart. In that instant, Sakutaro's yellow cloth and the cotton inside burst apart. It almost looked like moist cotton candy. Maria, Sakutaro, The crumpled yellow cloth and the cotton candy flowing out were thrust right in front of my eyes. Then through Mama's face, the evil being stated clearly.
Sakutaro is dead.
Sakutaro.
Maria, do not cry. Sakutaro was a good friend. As long as you do not forget that, he will always be with you. So do not cry.
Bring him back to life! You can use a lot of magic, Beato! You can bring even Sakutaro back to life, right?
About that. Of course, if Sakutaro had been my furniture, it would have been easy. However, Sakutaro is your furniture. That makes it difficult for me.
If you say it's difficult, that means it isn't impossible, right? Bring him
tell the truth. Sakutaro's vessel was a stuffed animal Rosa made herself correct. That Rosa has denied Sakutaro. A life that is not permitted by its own mother cannot exist. Beatrice's words were feeble, because she knew that no matter what the excuse, it wouldn't be enough to calm Maria and make her accept it. But she had to communicate the painful truth to her disciple and her close friend. She had to tell her the fact that even with all of her own power, she could not even revive Sakutaro. As long as you continue to strongly believe in Sakutaro's existence, that soul will not disappear. So Maria, please do not be sad. Even now, look, believe that Sakutaro is smiling right over there.
No! No! No, no, no! You have to bring Sakutaro back to life! No, no, no!
Give it up! There's no magic to revive Sakutaro. Despite that, you must strongly believe that Sakutaro will continue to exist as your close friend. That power will become magic.
That's not magic! That's not magic! You have to bring Sakutaro back to life! You can't do it because Mama made her herself! Why did Mama make you Sakutaro? It was to give him to me as a present, right? It was to make him my friend, right? So why did Mama make it herself and bring it herself? Why did Mama give birth to it by herself and try to bring it herself? I don't understand! I don't understand! I hate Mama! Hate Mama! Can't stand it! Can't stand it! Too sad! Too sad! Wanna smash Mama up like she did in Sakutaro! Wanna stick my fingernails in and tear her into cloth and cotton! I can't stand it! I can't stand it, Beatrice! Sakutaro!
From the darkness behind Maria's back, two massive jet black arms crept out, twisting around Maria as she sobbed in anger. The massive fingernails stuck into Maria's chest and stomach. Maria could not see that, but Beato could. Anger and sadness at any place to go will tear you apart. Beato knew that. She could see that. Yes. In the end, those massive arms were Maria's own. Those fingernails slowly started to eat into her chest and stomach. With their immense size and strength, those arms could probably tear into Maria into bits easily. But Maria herself couldn't notice, drowning in a sea of her own tears. She couldn't notice her own arms were trying to tear apart her own chest.
I can't stand it! Can't stand it! If Sakutaro can't be brought back to life no matter what, I want revenge! I want to make Mama meet the same man! Want her to meet the same man as Sakutaro! And Chiche! Teach me magic for that! Teach magic to beat Mama!
Is that how you truly feel?
Kill Mama! I'll kill her! No, that isn't Mama! It's the bad witch possessing Mama! I'll kill the witch Mama!
Very well. I shall give you that power. For tearing you and your beautiful heart apart. For giving you that pain. It is fitting that your heartless mother be torn apart considerably. I shall teach it to you. I shall teach you the abyss of the world of witches, of the depths where no light reaches.
Sakutaro! Sakutaro! Hey! Hey! I hate everyone! I hate Mama too! Angie too! I hate everyone! Everyone!
I think we'll read the next part tomorrow. Yeah. Oh wait, The World of 12 Years Later, October 1998. Okay. Yeah, that's enough for one day. Yep. Sakutaro, Lady Maria's white heart, which was torn apart. His broken vessel can only be regenerated by the Meister who created him, Rosa. However, Rosa disposed of the vessel's fragments and even lost the pattern paper. On top of that, his existence was denied by the Meister herself, so his resurrection is now impossible. The Meister died in 1986, and any chance for his resurrection disappeared for all time. Even the Endless Witch Beatrice could not manage it. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory. The high-quality furniture created by Beatrice. Lucifer is the oldest sister and therefore their leader. Because of this, she claims to be the strongest of them all, but she's secretly aware she's the least talented. Oh wait, are these the same? Anyway. Oh. Mammon is the first furniture to become Angie's friend. She stayed by Angie's side throughout most of her training period, greedily encouraging her master to become a truthful witch. A very special person, even among the Seven Sisters. Okay. Well. Good night.